In my opinion, that doesn't really seem that extreme to me. It seems very logical.
Yeah, in his opinion, it's no big deal. Testosterone at 14. I know other people think that's extreme, but, I was well read on it. It seemed logical. A 14-year-old doesn't have logic. Coach Greg and Claviculum, he ends up on the Bradley Martyn podcast yapping about Coach Greg. Never realized we had so much in common. Did you all know that Claviculum was kicked out of university for having 80 bottles of steroids? What? Last I checked, I thought steroids were illegal in the United States, but Claviculum, he had 80 bottles, and no, he swears he wasn't selling them. Not sure how he's not in jail, but that's a different story.
You're not really too sure all the time what's in some of maybe the Miami
Kirk!
So we just opted to do math, which we knew was going to be more pure.
Claviculum, he perhaps appears to be smart. I mean, he's, after all, neurodivergent, but he's unable to use his intelligence to help his own body. I mean, really, you're going to opt for math rather than creatine because you think it's safer, that it's healthier, that it's more pure. Literally, you can't make this shit up.
You actually take a look at the science of what math actually is, and it's really not too far off from just your traditional run-of-the-mill Adderall.
The level of dopamine, the addictive qualities, it's very, very dangerous. And so please, as a favor to Coach Greg, please don't do any math.
I just want to clarify, I never advocate anyone to do this, but I don't think people should take stimulants. I think more people are going to go about stimulants in the wrong way rather than the right way.
Just to clarify, he doesn't think anyone should do this. He just sells a course on how to do this, to 14-year-olds. And so whatever he talks about, whatever he does as an influencer, please don't let that influence you to do the things that he tells you that he's doing. And so when you're an influencer, what you do and say literally influences other people to do the same. And so you can't act one way. Oh, I do math, I sniff creatine, I do this and that, I'm injecting 15 milligrams of Retta each and every week, but no, you shouldn't do that, but it helps me to lose all this weight, to look smack, to get leaner than last time. While at the same time, you literally say that this is a scam and that I pretend that I got all my gains from the cookbook rather than steroids. Is there a single person of my over 2 million followers that's ever heard me say that I look like this because of my cookbook and that steroids had nothing to do with it? No, I say it's low-calorie dense foods with lots of protein for the big eater. It helps you to eat in a deficit. The foods are delicious. And so if you're interested, code Greg, 15% off.
I'm on Reddit TrueTide too. I take 15 mg. I just have such a high baseline appetite that I don't really have time to do cardio these days.
This is the problem. He is looking for every single cheat code in this world. He can't try to do anything on his own. He hasn't even been to the gym in a month. And so what does he do? He opts to take an experimental GLP at 15 milligrams a week, which is a ridiculous dose. Now, if I were to use this for a bodybuilding competition, I had to get leaner, I would use perhaps 1 to 2 milligrams a week. Bro is on 15. That is a hefty dose for a morbidly obese individual. And have you seen his pre-workout? He goes into a gas station, buys a bunch of biscuits, candies, and so on, and he eats that. He drinks a regular Monster, not even sugar-free. And so, does anyone think that if Claviculum didn't hire Coach Greg as his coach, perhaps even his life coach, that his life wouldn't get significantly better? He doesn't need to do any of the things that he's doing. This includes smashing his face with his bones, poking syringes into his eyes, and all the things he plans on doing. Limb lengthening surgery, bone maxing, implants, getting his orbital bones increased. Whatever he thinks he needs to do, he doesn't need to be doing it.
So if I want to go on a really heavy shred, I was just math maxing.
It just sounds insane.
I know, yeah, it does sound insane.
It is insane. Think of it, math maxing. What is wrong with this guy? If he simply went to the gym 1 hour a day, he wouldn't need any of these drugs. He wouldn't need the testosterone. He wouldn't need the Retta. He wouldn't wouldn't need the peptides. He wouldn't need anything. And he would look and feel better. But no, why would I want to go to the gym an hour each and every day? I hate going to the gym. I'd rather abuse drugs, break the law, and promote this to the world by saying, oh, I do this, but don't copy me. You really think that method is going to work?
I haven't done meth in a while. So for like 2 weeks now, I don't plan on restarting.
Does this not remind you of Togi? Oh, just replace this drug with a different drug. Keep rotating back and forth so that you never get addicted. Togi almost died. How do you think this is going to end?
Didn't get you on the addiction side yet.
No, dude. Being addicted to drugs is like, I don't know. It's kind of a lack of willpower, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what lacks willpower? Not going to the gym for 30 days, using testosterone and Retta instead. Bro is acting like he's Mr. Willpower. What is he, Mike Isertel? He has more willpower than almost anyone?
You've never met anyone with as much willpower as me.
It makes no sense.
Whereas stimulants, you just like feel bad. You don't really have the same drive that you do when you take them. The drive goes away, but you're not necessarily dependent.
And so, yeah, let's go over what happened with that decreased drive when he's not taking those drugs. He hasn't been to the gym in a month. If he's sniffing creatine, he can go and work out. But if he's not doing math, etc., I don't have the time to work out. I don't want to lift weights. Bro sounds like Peggy frickin' Watson. You know, Les Watson.
Oh my God!
And what is he taking, Mr. Les Watson? Lots of this, and who knows what else.
I would say that how early I started TRT would probably be the thing that would be the most extreme.
What is wrong with this guy? Like, who hurt this man? Where were his parents? Unfortunately, the freaking Reddit threads, the streams, social media, it's ruined him for life.
In my opinion, that doesn't really seem that extreme to me. It seems very logical.
Yeah, in his opinion, it's no big deal. Testosterone at 14. I know other people think that's extreme, but, you know, I was well read on it. It seemed logical. A 14-year-old doesn't have logic. They don't have enough life experience to realize the mistakes that they've been making.
So it was more for, you know, facial masculinization, going for a more dimorphic look, and, you know, developing like the facial bones, things of this nature.
It's bad enough when you take steroids thinking, I don't have a lot of muscle, I'm trying to get jacked, I'm embarrassed by my physique. He took it to age his face. It's sad. He's 14. He didn't know any better. As a 19-year-old, he should be making this message. Hey, guys, I used steroids at 14. It was a mistake. It was stupid. I don't know what I did that. And so I'm here to tell other 14-year-olds, please don't copy me. But instead of that, oh, I don't know why people think it's crazy. I was mature. I studied it enough. And so if you use testosterone, make sure that you're well read on it, and then you can take it. No, you can't take it till you're older. Wait till you're prescribed it from a doctor. Now remember, if you're trying to be healthy and you're trying to get things prescribed from a doctor, Algo RX. They'll get your blood work done. They won't gatekeep. You need Cialis, Viagra, enclomiphene, testosterone. If you need peptides, do you need help with losing weight? What do you need? Do you need to get healthy? They will help you. It's much cheaper than Merrick Health. Please compare the prices and do what works best for you. Code Greg, 10% off.
The looks are 100% the most important driving factor in relationships for men and women.
And so the truth is, looks are important, but only to a certain degree. Women have a minimum standard that they're looking for. And so perhaps let's, for example, say it's a 7. 7 out of 10. Anything above that, it's icing on the cake. And this applies to men as well. It's either you smash or you pass. As long as you're smashable, you're going to get the time of day. And so what should you do as a man? You should, in fact, look smacks. I agree with Clav on this. The problem is you shouldn't look smacks by slamming your cheekbones with a hammer, and you shouldn't be getting limb lengthening surgery, and you don't need to wear makeup. If you do these things, people are going to look at you and think, yeah, I don't like you anymore. It's a little bit too much, and so this is what you should be doing. Dress nicely, shower, comb your hair, shave, have nice looking skin, and if your back is as hairy as Mike Isertel, you may want to consider shaving it.
No.
Go to the gym, lift weights, lower your body fat percentage so that you're healthy. Don't need to take steroids. Don't need to do all of this nonsense. You just need to be the best version of yourself. Work on your talking skills. Meet girls. Talk to them. Be friends with women so that you don't feel awkward when you're speaking to someone of the opposite sex. That is called soft looks maxing, and that is what you should be doing. If you're a 5 out of 10 right now, and you perhaps go to the gym, lose some weight, wear some nice clothes, you perhaps will go up to a 7, maybe even an 8. If you start as a 3, you might go up to a 6. What's wrong with improving yourself? That is the message. But worrying about it to this extent, taking steroids at 14, retatrutide, taking math, drugs to help yourself to be skinny, you're leading into what's known as body dysmorphia. It's not good, it's not healthy, and many bodybuilders follow in this trap. Bodybuilders are trying to improve their bodies. They're trying to look smack their bodies. But the problem is they get to a certain point and they keep going and keep going and going, and they increase their testosterone doses before they know it, they're doing tren. You don't need that. Too much of a good thing, it's bad. Claviculum already looks good enough. Perhaps he's a 9 out of 10. He doesn't need to get any better. It's not going to help him. He's fine the way he is, and I would argue if he gets these facial surgeries, it's only going to make him worse. 6'2", good-looking 19-year-old. Why does he need to get limb lengthened to 6'6" and add metal implants, titanium, into his face? Women are going to see this and say, I'm going to pass. It's the hard pass. I liked you as a 9, but now what am I looking? I'm with a cyborg robot. I don't want that. And last I checked, I don't like having to borrow mascara from my boyfriend in order to get ready in the morning.
There is a lot more you can do as a man who's unattractive to kind of build yourself up. Like if you're a woman and you're ugly, you're pretty much right. There's really no getting around that.
As a woman, if you're ugly, there's so much you can do. Ladies, don't be fat. If you're not fat, you're most likely a 5 out of 10. It's that easy. Majority of women are obese. And so if you're at a healthy weight, you take care of yourself, you go to the gym, you groom your body, you're probably not bad. And trust me, there's going to be a ton of men out there who want to be with you. Men, on the other hand, we have it way, way worse. If you're a good-looking female, men are messaging you from around the globe. Perhaps they're wealthy guys, perhaps from Dubai. Hey, fly in, let's come on my yacht. When I was a kid, you could only date the people in your town. I was in a small town. I essentially dated every girl who was attractive, and I had to move out. There's only so many, and I had to leave. Now, if you're in the same small town, you can date people from wherever. And trust me, it's not a bunch of women who are DMing the men. Well, Soph Mepsigram, who DM'd Coach Greg. And so if you're a woman, why not learn or take some tips from the men who get what they want? They're sending messages, they're trying, they're exploring. If you're a girl, stop sitting back waiting for Mr. Right to DM you, because even when they do, you're going to ignore them because, hey, he's a creep for DMing me. Pick the guy that you like and send him a signal. Like his photos, send him a DM, say, hey, is there anything wrong with that? And if they make fun of you and they reject you, who cares? You'll at least know that you went after what you wanted. And if you're a quality, high-value female, what makes you think you can't get exactly whoever you want?
Whereas maybe improving 20 percentiles in looks is much more achievable. I think that looks maxing is a better way to improve yourself as a man than income and status.
I disagree. I think improving your looks by 20% is probably the same difficulty as improving your income or status by 20%. It's just a little bit better. I'm not saying you have to be a famous multimillionaire, 1 million followers, millions of dollars. But can you make more? Let's say you're making $50,000 right now. Can you go up by 20%? It's $10,000. Perhaps you work harder, you get another job, you educate yourself, you move up in the ranks. Same as your appearance. You lose some body fat, you go to the gym, you get some nice clothes, you're going to look better. Why not do both? Why not be the best version of yourself? And if you're not, why would you expect a woman to go after you?
If you're someone who's horrible off genetically, you're not going to be able to really ascend that much unless you're getting, these extreme plastic surgeries.
I mean, does anyone think that all the things that Clavicular's done has actually improved him? Had he not used testosterone, but went to the gym and trained, do you not think he would have more muscle? Who do you think would have more muscle? Bro who's taking, let's say, 500 milligrams of test a week. That is a lot. Doesn't go to the gym ever. Bro, his brother, he's not on anything, 100% natural. Well, perhaps he's on Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum. I mean, it's better than creatine, and so why not add creatine to that as well? He's on natural supplements or none whatsoever. Who do you think has more muscle? I can guarantee the person that's training and not taking anything has more muscle than the person blasting test and trend who doesn't go to the gym. And so Claviculum, he can't take his own advice. The low-hanging fruit, the easiest thing to do in the world, go to the gym for an hour a day. But yet he's not willing to do that. He's doing podcasts all the time. He's streaming from morning until night, but he can't even go to the gym. Last I checked, you can go to the gym and take an hour break and it'll refresh your mind and make your podcast that much better. Or better yet, record yourself training in the gym. I literally just recorded this video of clavicular training in the gym. And so why not just go to the gym and live stream from there?
So what are all the things that it took you to get here?
TRT during puberty, as well as HGH. I started that when I was 16.
I was done growing at 13, as in done. And so if I added growth hormone at 16, it would do nothing other than decrease my health and perhaps put on a bit of muscle. And rather than that, guess what I did at 16, 14, 10? I trained with weights and did cardio. I was a competitive triathlete since the age of 13. And so I did all the healthy things. And so as much as Clavicular is trying to put me down, make fun of me, which person does it better?